Hey guys, it's Jamie here bringing you Recovery Inspired Hope. Today I have my very, very good friend with me, Miss Sandie Gearin. I've known Sandie for several years. We came through a program together and we're still here strong, and I'm so excited for you to hear the things that she's going to talk about today. So first of all, Sandie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Sandie. I work at the Palm House Recovery Center. I'm the women's lead coordinator there. And I work in recovery every day, and I love it.
Awesome. Definitely one of those jobs that just gives back.
Yes.
For sure. Awesome. So tell us how you got to Athens.
Okay. How I got to Athens is I went to prison back in 2012. And part of my prison sentence was they gave me a 15-3 with 12 months of rehab. And I had to come to rehab after my prison sentence, which I did the whole 3 years. And that's how I ended up coming to Athens. It was part of my prison sentence.
So you came to the Palm House straight from prison?
Yes.
Okay. And when you came in, was there a specific pathway that worked best for you in your recovery?
When I first came in, what was working for me is God. You know, the whole 3 years I was in prison, I ran to God. Every church thing they had, I ran straight to. I totally focused on God. Mm-hmm. So, you know, the first 3 years of my clean time, you know, I owe it to God.
And how long do you have today?
I have 8 years today.
8 years. Oh my goodness.
Well,
wow.
8 years and 6 months.
And 6 months, 8.5 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Recovery is possible. And
yes.
She gets more beautiful every year. Okay. So now you actually have a whole family in recovery.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what that's like.
It's amazing. I'm so thankful to God that they are in recovery, and I owe it all to Him because for 3 years, my son was still using when I got out. Mm-hmm. I was here in Athens for 3 years, and I prayed for him every night for him to come into recovery. And it was like May 5th, 2 years ago. I was at my nephew's wedding, and I just felt this. It's like God was talking to me. And when I see my nephew walk down the aisle, and it was like, your son is going to overdose today. And then all I could think of in my head is I was getting this thought is my nephew was walking down the aisle, and all I could think of was, please God, just don't take my son. He's my only son. And sure enough, on the way home from the wedding, my son calls me, and he is high, and I could tell. And usually I would hang up on him because I had to separate myself from him until he was ready for help. And he went out. I didn't hear his voice anymore, and I knew he had overdosed. Wow. And so I called the people that he was with in the house, and I'm like, go downstairs. He just overdosed. And sure enough, he did. They got him in an ambulance and got him there to the hospital. And I was in me and my little brother went to the hospital, and we were in the waiting room for like an hour waiting to go back and see him. And when we got back there, the ER doctor said it was touch and go for a while. They had him on a Narcan drip. They had to keep him in ICU on a Narcan drip. And my little brother just looked at him, and I looked at him, and I was crying. And my little brother laid hands on him, and he prayed. Because I've done everything to know to do to try to help my son. And he said, God, whatever you got to do, if you got to take him to the gates of hell and show him what hell is like, and then just pull him back, but don't take him from us. Please show him so he would quit. And my son, when he woke up in ICU, he looked at me and he was crying. I've never seen him like that. And he was like, Mom, I saw hell and I don't want that. He says, I want help. And he went straight to detox, and then he come straight to the Palm House, and he's been clean ever since. He has 2 years clean.
Wow, it's such divine intervention right there. Yes. God is so powerful. That is such an amazing testimony. And you, had you not been in recovery, you may not have been able to hear that message or reach out to know where he was at. God used you to save your own child.
Yes.
That is so amazing. That, it makes me think of, the sins of the parents go down the third and fourth generations.
Yes.
But when we come back to the Lord, that's it.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. That is so powerful. And you have 2 other daughters who also experience recovery.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Mary is my youngest child. I was at work one day when I got the call about her. She had lived with me for a while here, and then she had moved out with a boy. And I was trying to tell her it wasn't a good idea, but she did not want to listen. She was 18. She thought she was grown. But I got a call from Athens Regional that they had my child there, that she had overdosed, that they had to hit her twice with Narcan. And she was a little fighter. Now, she was not hearing it, so me and her dad had to show her that tough love. We went to the apartment she was at, and we took everything. We took her car, all her furniture, everything, because she didn't pay for any of it. We did. I brought her home with me, back home over here, and I told her, you have to go through the program. You can't stay with me. And she came through the program. And she really did good. She really needed that tough love at that time, because she didn't want to hear it. But she also needed us to be tough on her. Because
Yes, I just shared that the other day, that, right before the steps leading up to my surrender to recovery, my mom wouldn't let me come there. She wouldn't let me see my kids. My grandma even told me, you can't come here. Nobody would have anything to do with me. They just had to, and that's so hard, like as a parent, to know what your child is going through, especially having experienced it like you did, and having to be strong and courageous and use wisdom as to what you need to do. And then, of course, we have Christian. Yes.
Christian is, she's very intelligent. She is in college right now to become a licensed clinical social worker.
Yes.
But she was a whole story in herself. When I got out of prison, she was smoking crack. And I just couldn't believe it. And I told her dad, and she got so mad at me for telling her dad. But she went through some spiritual stuff that was really, really hard. Like, she wasn't herself. She was possessed, and like the Catholic Church did not even want to help her. And there was these ladies that came from Mississippi, didn't ask us for a thing, and they prayed over her and helped, and they really helped her. I mean, I've never seen nothing like that unless you've been through it and an experience.
Deliverance, yes.
Deliverance.
Absolutely.
It's really...
It's a real thing.
It's a real thing. I'm thinking, okay, I've been through everything, but this was really an awakening for her, because she didn't believe in God. She thought there was no God, and she was angry. And I prayed for. She was one I prayed for a lot. I'm like, God, just show her that you're real. Show her that you're there. And, he showed her that he is real and that he is there. And now she believes in God. Yes. She's doing really wonderful.
And I am actually witness to all of this. We've had several prayer sessions over your children. Yes. I have been there. I witnessed all of these things. So this is truth, 100%. I was there. Yes. So, yes. And it's so awesome to look at it now at how God pulled your family through. And now you have grandbabies. Yes. And they're married and grandbabies. And this is so awesome.
Yes.
That's
two
so
granddaughters.
Awesome. Yes.
3 months apart.
Yes, that is awesome. And it's so amazing. And I thank you for your courage to speak out about these things and about your recovery. And tell me why you feel that it's important that others speak out about their recovery.
Because there's people out there that don't want to, there might be, I mean, I guess you can say they're ashamed of it, but you don't need to be ashamed of it. You need to use your story, and because it could help somebody else.
Yes.
Like, you know, I do know of people, it's like, we took care of that problem. They don't want it to surface again. But no, people need to hear about it. People need to hear about recovery that's real. You know, people do recover. And it's just so important not to stay silent anymore. Yes. You could save somebody's life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. That's what I say all the time. I tell people when I see them speaking out on social media, thank you for speaking out so others don't have to die in silence. Right. And for me, it was when I, dropped and lost my anonymity, I also lost my guilt and shame, and I became empowered and saw the value and power in speaking out, because it helps others so much.
Even when I meet new people now, I'm straight up honest with them about who I am, what I've done, and where I've been, because I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of my past. My past is what has made me who I am today, so I can help other women overcome whatever they're going through. Because, when I was in prison and I was, like I said, I chased God. I prayed to God while I was in there every day. God, when I get out, because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life.
Right.
I was drawing disability. And when I got out, I was like, okay, I want to do something. But when I was in there, I prayed, God, if you put me somewhere, please put me somewhere where I can help other women. Yes. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to help other women. Now that I'm off probation, I got off 6 years early.
That's right. That's right.
My next goal is to go back. I want to go back into the jails and the prisons, and I want to tell my story, and I want to be able to reach the women in there.
Yes. That's awesome.
That's what I really want to do.
That's awesome. Goals. Yeah. Now, you also have had an amazing fitness transformation.
Yes.
Tell us about that, and tell us how you believe they go hand in hand in recovery.
Okay. Well, I guess I've lost like 70 pounds.
70 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm still working on it. When the COVID hit, the gym got closed down. And so now I just recently got to get back into the gym and just working out and feeling healthier. To me, it's not all about, I just want to feel healthy, be healthy. And it does, you feel better about yourself. You really do.
Yes.
And, you just feel good. You got more energy. Yeah.
Yes. Exercise releases endorphins. Yes. feel good chemicals in your brain.
Right.
Yes.
And working where I work, it is a big mental health break for me, too. It's like a stress reliever.
Yes.
Like, I love it.
Self-care.
Yes.
So important. And, okay, last question. What advice would you give to a woman considering recovery?
Give it a try. I mean, what have you got to lose? But to better yourself and learn to love yourself. Because that's a lot of what happens with women is they don't love themselves.
Yes.
They're looking for validation and everything that they don't need to be looking for it in.
Yes. Yes, I've had that experience too. And when I actually took the time and made a decision to pour into my recovery and pour into the woman I found through my recovery, I finally found that I was worth pouring into.
Yes.
Yes. So definitely anybody considering recovery, give it a shot. And if it's a year long or a 6 month or whatever it is, dedicate that time to you because you deserve it, because you are worth it. Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
You are worth it.
Well, thank you so much, Sandie, for being here.
Well, thank you.
Yes. We'll see you guys next time on Recovery Inspired Hope.